Hi, welcome to our meditation. Today is the 2nd of June, and I would like to read in Proverbs chapter 10, verse 32. The lips of the righteous know what finds favor, but the mouth of the wicked only what is perverse. In another version, it says this text says, the lips of the righteous know grace, know grace. So grace in our heart will change us in the image of Christ, and we will speak like him. But not all the words of grace that came out of Jesus' mouth were well accepted. There is a problem with men, that we can all worship God one moment and then blaspheme against him the next. And we find that there is a very interesting story in Luke chapter 4, in the very beginning of Jesus' ministry, that illustrates that. Luke chapter 4, verse 22 to the end of the chapter. All spoke well of him and were amazed at the gracious words that came from his lips. "Isn't this Joseph's son?" they asked. So Jesus is back where he grew up, and he's preaching in the synagogue. And they were saying hallelujah to the first words that Jesus pronounced in that synagogue. But then Jesus knew their hearts. And Jesus is going to show by his preaching what they had in their hearts. And then things will change completely. Jesus said to them, "Surely you will quote this proverb to me, 'Physician, heal yourself.' And you will tell me, 'Do here in your hometown what we have heard that you did in Capernaum.' Truly I tell you," he continued, "no prophet is accepted in his hometown. I assure you that there were many widows in Israel in Elijah's time, when the sky was shut from 3.5 years. And there was a severe famine throughout the land. Yet Elijah was not sent to any of them, but to a widow of Zarephath in the region of Sidon. And there were many in Israel with leprosy in the time of Elisha the prophet, yet not one of them was cleansed. Only Naaman the Syrian. All the people in the synagogue were furious when they heard this." Isn't that amazing? In verse 22, they said, "Hallelujah, this man speaks with grace." And then in verse 28, they were filled with anger. Not just anger, but they are filled with a spirit of murder, and they want to kill Jesus. Can you imagine if Jesus came into a Catholic church or a temple and preached, and then we just left the service or the Mass wanting to kill Jesus? That's what is happening here. And I remind you that he came home. He is speaking to people who knew his parents. Isn't that amazing? Just because Jesus was speaking the truth. It's true that Jesus speaks grace. And when he speaks grace, he speaks the truth. And sometimes we don't want to listen to the truth. They got up, drove him out of the town, and took him to the brow of the hill on which the town was built, in order to throw him off the cliff. But he walked right through the crowd and went on his way. How are we welcoming Jesus' words today? The words that are full of grace. Do we say hallelujah and then we try to kill him as if we could? Or we accept the truth that is coming out of his lips? God bless you.